Okay. Everything's looked real weird today. Good morning, afternoon, whatever, evening. It's the end of my day and the beginning of my time with you. How's everybody doing? How do I pop the chat? We are working on redos. So, the log cabin. I did not talk to Michael. Hold on. Where's that? There we go. Knock that. Oh, okay. All right. I think we've got everything. I think it's working. All right. Where are we? All right, I'm going to change cameras here. Um, this was one of the blocks that was in that bin. I personally like one more row on these, and I have enough fabric to do it, so I'll probably do that. It makes the block bigger too. Um, Nothing wrong with leaving it right like this because I see one, two rows, one, two of each color. The There's 9 blocks of that, and then there was 9 blocks that had this brought into it. Although I'm fine with this fabric, I have no fucking idea what the plan was, nor could I figure out what would work. So Rhonda unsewed for me today. I'm overlapping. I have a few dozen things I'm doing at once. And being as these were spread out, I'm going to go ahead and cut these. I mentioned that I'm going to be writing a stupid little easy pattern to do beginning quilting. So that's what this is. Oh, I didn't actually pick that. There we go. All right, that looks better too. So I don't know about any of you guys, but I noticed like I went back in yesterday to look at something from the computer about this live, and it said I was still live. It didn't say that I had 10 bazillion hours in my life, which I wonder what the hell that would have looked like when it came to analytics. But I had I had some issues. I have no idea. And then it still said live today, even though I verified everything was off. It still hadn't changed the amount of hours I was live. And the only way I got that to go away is go live. But then when I did that, my opening screen, the back end where I changed the name, changed the photo, that stuff, made it sound like my OBS and which I stream through, and my YouTube were not connected. So then I had to refigure out how to do that too. Pretty, huh? I love these colors. This is part of our shop hop in October, Harvest Moon. These are falling leaves, autumn leaves, awesome leaves, awesome autumn. No, not awesome autumn. Jason Yenter, though, in the beginning fabrics. I'll put this out there again. Jason, I'd love to get a tour of your facility. Rah, rah. I hear they don't do that. But maybe if I get popular enough. So get on that, guys. Thanks for over 100 followers. I'm just over the moon. And it kicked over to 101, and then I get stuck looking like every multiple times a day, and that's not the way to do this because that's not really my goal. But you get hooked into watching your numbers, and it's hard to just pull back because I'm not here for the numbers. I'm here to screw around and maybe find a few people that like to screw around and do this with me. I have none of you currently, though. All right, no, it's all right. It's all good. All's good in love and war. Drink of the evening, blackberry, Dr. Pepper, no booze. I don't know why that's become a thing, but there you go. There's so much ripping out on these. There's so much extra threads. Should get that. Do I have one of those here? No. I wonder if this would work though. Huh, yeah, pretty much the same thing, I guess. Jamie, what are you doing, you ask? Well, some of the seam rippers have that little rubber tip on the end for getting all these, pulling your threads out like this when you're when you did a lot of ripping. And I don't have one of those on me, but I have this unused, you know, Pentel click eraser, you know, and it works too. So there you go. There's another option. All right. So let's just get an idea, shall we? What all of these are going to need to be cut down, I see. All right. We're going to sneak in. We're pretending that this piece hasn't been put on yet. So we've got to do all the fuckery to get this to work. So do you see what I mean? Why I'm saying that maybe not. See that this is the full bar. So I'm going to look at that as my handle. So I have my center and my first round of this. And here I am straightening out one of these, and I needed one of these. Let's get some of this crap off. At least you didn't have to watch me sew them all. Rhonda had no idea she was coming to the shop to rip apart my blocks. Thank you. So there's always just no chain piecing happens when you have to fix a bunch of shit. And like I was saying last time, if you inherit boxes or you get something at the local thrift store, ours is great for this sort of thing. There's one place it seems like all the sewers go and drop their stuff off. That, I want a leader and ender. I don't want to fight with it. Let's grab. Let's grab one of these from my last project, which might end up on the frame soon. Bree asked if I wanted it quilted, and I'm like, yeah. And I think I picked a great back for it. I didn't plan it; it just was there, and I looked from one to the other and was like, that's pretty nice. I like the chain piecings, so I know there's not a lot we can do, but I'm gonna just. And honestly, that's wider than I need for chain piecing. I just need a little bit, just enough to hold that needle. All right. Now I'm going to trim that. And you won't see me trim it because I'm not going to flip the camera that many times and make you freaking dizzy. Okay. And, okay. It's just confusing with having that extra piece in there. It's okay. Now that's the handle, and we're going to do this side. And that leftover piece is not big enough because that's got just a small, but we can use these. We'll use them up. Maybe, what's this piece? Oh, the stuff I set aside had some small stuff in it too. Maybe I can use a smaller piece. Will that work? Ooh, it will. Let's go. Zero drop frames, 10 minutes. I am live, right? Look, there we go. My two fabrics kind of separated. There we go. You guys ready for Christmas? Fucking doing about Christmas. Like, there's a couple more people. Okay, I think I can get rid of that wood. Let's trim this before. How am I gonna do that? That. See, that was the fun part about piecing shit into it. All right, let's see if I can. All right, you might want to see this one. So, folded this back over, being as that's up against it. So I'm gonna just trim it like this. That piece gonna work. Yeah, we're gonna make that work. Done is better than perfect. All right, so that means let's go back to here. Now that means I am just connecting this down the rest of the way, and we will be back in business on this one. I think I'm going to need some completion in between things. So I shouldn't have done that. That's what I have this for. Hi, Daisy. How's it going, my old girl? Let me get that cord out of your way. Yeah. How are you, my love? Uh-oh. Did you lose your balance? Hmm? Okay, now we've got a new handle. So this starts our second round with the tweed. Any of these already the right length? Oh, this one might be. Close enough. All right. So I got my mom left. I've got her bestie, which is a customer as well. Actually, she taught me how to quilt. It was my instructor in my first class, which is just kind of hilarious if you think about it. Now she's best friends with my mom that I didn't even know at that point because she's my stepmom. Yeah, just interestingly small world. All right. And then I've got to come up with a family gift from my house. It totally slid on me. Okay. Yes, I still need the blade. All right, turn it over. This is the handle. Now we're doing this side. This happened to be long enough? Yes, it is. Should we? Yeah. Just takes so long. It's like insult to injury, right? First you realize you sewed it wrong. Then you have the injury and pain in the assness of taking it all apart. Then you've got cleanup before you can use it again. Let's just make sure it's nice and flat. Hi, someone's here. We are fixing the log cabins. Basically, I decided to make them all the same. And I will play with possibly using a brown, using this brown that we took out as a sashing in between blocks, maybe? I don't know, but that's what happens when you have a decades old UFO that you're trying to figure out what the plan was. The fact that I can remember that my son came up with a plan that actually had two different blocks. I can't remember what the hell we were doing with it. I mean, you're lucky I remember that much. Right. So we are ignoring these two pieces at the moment. We're pretending this is what we're starting with, so we gotta start the small route. The smallest of the other green. That's no. Oh, yes. I gotta pick some stuff here too. Daisy, go out. Don't go potty in the house. What happened to my old girl? Oh, that. Yep, not even gonna worry about it. On to the next one. This one's been cleaned. I just ran my stitch way far past where I needed to, so it's not even a thread like to clean up. It is totally a full-on stitch that I'd have to seam rip out. And I'm not desperate for that piece. So we're gonna just set it aside. Well, it'll definitely be a very earthy log cabin, huh? Michael's favorite color was green for a long time. I don't know if it still is, but I see a little warping. So, a disclaimer from the first time I mentioned this. That was 10 years ago. I'm a much better piecer now, so if there's, I'm trying to give myself a break because I wasn't perfect then, I'm not perfect now, and I most certainly can't do anything about the piecing work done prior to me touching it now. All right. That means this is the handle. It's my handle. Whoa, that's way too short. It's my spout. This one works. Not the most exciting thing, huh? But, we have to clear out our UFO bins, or we won't have room for new ones. Haha. Okay, so that definitely is going to go there, but I've got a little bit left, the end of the strip that I'm using under the needle now. Let's see if I can make this work. It's just all this piecemeal stuff. So I found these. I will call them dioramas, I guess. Let's just continue to roll that way far out of the way. It's a company that makes these little put it together yourself, highly detailed. Uh-oh, I got you. I got you. Okay? Did you dead bug it? Sorry. Okay. Oh, honey. Doing okay. Uh-oh, did you get stuck again? No. I look over and she's on her side. Get up on her feet. Oh, poor thing. All right, we're on the camcorder. Which way did you go? Oh, there. I just am always afraid I'm going to roll over toes or tails. Okay, I'm going to rotate that, take that out, and that's going to line me up for this one. Should have put the needle down, or the precipite down after I turned it. Now, did I piss you off somehow? Yes. So fun. Let's figure out what I did. Probably it was the minimal sewing without the presser foot down. But that's okay, we'll figure it out. All right, now I only see 2 strands. There we go. We had extra there for a little bit. Is that okay? That is not okay. All right. Oh, came unthreaded. You okay, Daisy? Do you want me to see if Daddy will take you out? He could take you out. I took you out when I got home, but let's see. What are you mad about? Are we gonna spend the whole live figuring out why my machine is mad? I'm gonna take this out. I had to do some hinky shit with the brother at work. I had a hard time getting the bobbin to start winding. Like it kept spinning and not catching. So the bobbin had spin, but the thread wouldn't actually wind. It would just hang out with however much I had manually put on. Let's do this. Let's not put the good fabric in it. See, fine. And about the time I was like, well, fuck it, I gotta try it again. It like spun and caught, but it went the other direction. Okay, there she goes. Um, so I got seriously 18 to 24 inches from the end of binding. I machine bind at the shop, so it was the final top stitch, the shit down, and it started acting funny. And I remembered it had some wound the wrong direction. I picked that bobbin out and I flipped it backwards, and I'm like, well, it seems to think that we are in the right spot. So, and then it sewed. I'm like, yeah, sure, I'll take that. Not really sure what to do about it. It worked though. All right, let's see. What do we got? Um, that's gonna go all the way over, but this is still being held back, I believe, because now this is the top. I need to trim this. Really making a noise over there. Let's check on her. She always has yeasty ears, and she's rubbing her ears. I did a little cleaning last night, but she probably needs some more. Need to put some medicine down in there. Let's just see. All right, that makes my handle, which means now I need to put a strip on this side. Okay, and that is this. That's going on there. My kiddo is kind of loud tonight. Cut him some slack. His birthday in the morning. Let's try this. Put it down. So fast. Oh, there we go. See, it's easy to do if I think about all the steps. Let's make sure that plastic razor is far away. Alright, like I said, I still think we're gonna do another round, but this should bring this one to the point that the others are. I gotta figure out what color I'm painting my bedroom. I want to do all kinds of stuff, and I can't decide what's going to be painted first, my bedroom or this accent wall downstairs. But, all right, let's see. Yep, it matches the others now. No fair. I think I can hear my husband snoring. How is that fair? He did have a longer drive, and he did go pick up the gift after. Um, let's. I'm gonna leave a little extra room on this. Just okay. All right. So that's going to make that the handle, which means this can come up. So we're going to rest. If people thought patterns were like puzzles, it really is a puzzle when you do this kind of stuff. All right. All right. Great. Maybe we shouldn't do a later ender because realistically, my seams are big on this. A different machine, you can tell. Yeah, 10 years ago I didn't own this. So let's just see how well everything goes together. I won't hesitate to make a smidge of a bigger seam if needed. It's easier to do that than it is to go the other way, am I right? Okay. What's everybody reading? We shift over to book talk here. I am reading Hidden Species. I love the concept of their world building on this. Ah, okay, well, looky there. Now we're ready to put this one down. It's a whole different take on the shifters and vampires and stuff. All right, let's look at this because I see wonkiness because that's not straight here. So I'm gonna rip. Maybe I'm gonna go ahead and rip to where it's straight. I need to get. Yeah, I totally hear him snoring. You guys let me know when you can hear him. And when you can hear him, then we can tell him to shut up. All right. Let's see if we can fix this. Let's see if we can fix that seam because it was not straight. It kind of went. So there's that little bit of extra I gave myself because just never really freaking know on either working off of somebody else's work or coming back to your ancient shit, which is what this is. So another fun fact. One of the thoughts I had was, I don't know if you watched the first video, but I'll kind of lay out the colors and show you what was done previously. I'm going to just, I don't need that little extra now. So for some reason, some of these were, I'm going to grab one of these. I got nobody watching anyway. So this was the one block, and then the other blocks, the other half was this and then this. And I couldn't figure out one, I think it needed one more row. And I'm assuming my brain thought that then as well. I have no idea what the plan was. So I took them apart and we're going to make them all like this. I can figure out what to do with those. That's basically easy. I had to put something up there. You guys aren't talking because nobody's here. Don't forget me, people. Okay. See, now I need you guys to tell me whether you can hear this crap. Ugh, this one's really. So this is not the glamorous part of sewing, right? The glamorous part of sewing, in my opinion, is matching fabrics to pattern, putting fabrics together. We have a not new, we have a saying at the shop. Some of you will get this. And when we're putting fabrics together and we're trying to figure out what's the best, like 3 yard ones, we'll pick 3 and put them up. Oh, that reminds me, I gotta look and see how my posts are scheduled for this month. I can only go so far ahead. I might have to shift gears and work on that. When we go to put some fabrics together, we're like, okay, I need a third one to go with it. And we'll put something together and we'll just stare at it because there's reasons it works, but there's reasons that we're not overjoyed for it. And so the phrase that typically comes out of our mouth is, I don't hate it. And we mean it works. Maybe I could do better. Maybe I could love it if I had a different one. Well, I wasn't going to do this. All right, so the plan is to take these blocks that my bestie took apart for me and get them to the point that the other blocks are. So that will be one more row. It's going to go here, and then it goes on that pile, and we grab the next one to muddle through. Then I can chain piece and go through and add one more set of tweed, one more set of the berries. Oh, I had a cop at the shop today. Bizarre. I like, so we're having a week-long sewing event, and I've got several people sewing, and we have a potluck. And the potluck is in our shipping room that's on the parking lot side of the building. And I went to get food, and I'm like, oh, what the hell? There is a police officer in his SUV, outside the SUV with his lights going. What did my friend call it? Berries and cherries. And he's talking to someone, a man, I believe, that had his a hood on because it was a little bit rainy, and his back was to me, so I couldn't see anything. And they're like where my dumpster is. And ah, I get two. Right, sounds better than perfect. Um, I see the cop gesture like towards either my recycling dumpster, my cardboard dumpster, or the front of one of the cars that was parked like up against the dumpster. I'm like, shit, do I need to go out there? I'm like, okay, well, it's my property, and he gestured this way. I need to figure out what's going on. So I open the back door and I step out onto the little landing, and we're talking one, two, three, four to five car widths, not lengths apart. Don't ask me. I fucking suck at that. And so he heard me and he looked up and I kind of did one of these. He goes, it's okay. Well, no, he says, I'm going to come talk to you in a minute. And I'm like, and he goes, everything's okay. I'm like, okay. So, so, so I stepped back in going, I guess I got to be patient. The weird thing is he was going around. My building is here. My building is here. And we have a parking lot. The driveway comes up and there is a warehousey type building here that's separated into two businesses and they're both gone. It's empty. So nothing is going on around here. Evidently, he was seen checking doors and going around this, and he came down. We're going to make that like that. And here I have a dumpster, and he was digging in my dumpster. The dumpster only has cardboard, so he had a stack of empty cores, is what he had. And so the officer was asking, he says it came from your dumpster. I mean, would you know? I'm like, yeah, I'll take a look. He goes, okay, I wasn't sure if you feel comfortable heading out there with the suspect. I don't know if he was a suspect, but the person there. I'm like, there's two of you cops. I'm just fine. I feel safe. And I got to step far enough that I saw the empty core sitting on the ground. And I'm like, yeah, that definitely came from my dumpster. And I'm like, and if he feels he needs that, he's welcome to it. But he shouldn't be going through my dumpster without permission. But I'm fine if he keeps it. Because, they're thick. And if he's homeless, then, I mean, that would probably only be a bit for a night in this type of rain. But it would insulate from the cold and keep him dry for a bit. So, yeah. And if, shit, I mean, really, if he came back every couple days and grabbed empty cores, I'm fine with it. They're in recycling. It's not like I'm going to use them, and if somebody would benefit from it, I'm okay with that. I don't like the fact that he was walking around checking the doors over there, though. That's kind of not cool. Okay, there's that. Okay, we're going to leave it like that for the moment. This is where Jamie gets really good at saying done is better than perfect. That's up. That means. And then I was like, I wonder if I should run a bowl of food out to him. Probably should have. But by the time I was resigned to do it, they were gone. So we've also had somebody with their RV and nice truck. Doesn't mean anything, if you're homeless. And he parks on the other side of this. The driveway kind of comes up and does one of these and swoops around and goes back to another road. So right in here, he parks his trailer and like lives out of it. Sometimes for a day or two, sometimes for a week or two. And I can't decide how I feel about that either. I mean, like, on one aspect, there's somebody lurking right by my property that doesn't belong there. But if it's like what we think, and he just is moving around because he doesn't have a spot, and maybe he would deter people, I just don't know. I could see somebody staying in a trailer if they were working on this property, but they're not doing that either. God, this shit frays. So, besides the fact that I've got all these other strings, this really is messy. How's this? I don't know. Anyway, you tell me what you think. I've had people go through my recycling before and grab those empty cores. And if that's all you take, if you want to take garbage, if you want to take that, if you're not screwing with my business, I'm not going to have a complaint about that. I did see someone doing that and check my doors. No, that I was not okay with. Oh, hey, we missed a step over here. Probably because I was bitching about the cop. Well, I didn't have a problem with the cop. But all right, so this can come. We're going to unpress this. If we can unsew, we can unpress, right? I'm going to press that seam flat again. Like that. Damn it. A wee bit easier. Not square. This block does not feel square at all. Um, oh, I see what I'm doing. Maybe. Do, do, do. I'm going to take that all the way down to this seam. Damn, this seam was scant, and the others have been fat. So I'm going to square it. Just kind of do get that extra on. Press this. Well, I started to say I found these little diorama build-it-yourself bookshelf nook things. With a light. It's for decorating your bookshelf. You tuck them in with your books. So cool. I actually bought myself one. Bought some as gifts. And okay. I need to do something here. Let's that. Oops. I was reaching where there was no iron. And now we're gonna have to figure out what cool thing we're gonna do with this log cabin. Robert's watching his YouTube thing. Some guy that plays basically Risk. And he's quite brilliant at it. Yeah, this is going to be an interesting one. It just does not feel very square. In the grand scheme of things, when it gets phone all together, it should be absolutely fine and nobody's going to notice. And that was the wrong button. I don't want to be on camera. Oh, you guys need to watch our next live sale on Facebook. It'll be the last Tuesday. And being as it's, I keep saying Christmas Eve, but it is New Year's Eve Eve. Greta and I are going to play the drinking game again, which means I got to find that spinner. Hopefully I can straighten this up a little bit. All right, that means this is my handle. Whoops. So that means that we are working with berry fabric. Ouch. My hand is better. Yay me. Getting old sucks. Wait. I'm gonna need to do some vacuuming around here after this project. Okay. I think it'll just fit. Yep. There you go. Hello. Oh, somebody's on. I can't read that far. Hi, Lois. How's it going? You found me again. See, this is just. All right, Jamie, let it go. It's just not going to be perfect. And I can't expect a 10-year-old UFO to be perfect, right? Boy, I have to just be okay. Nah. There is a power wash simulator? Like on a phone, or is that on Steam, or what? Simulator. I actually might actually be okay with that type of thing. Okay, we're about done with our scrappies, so we're gonna have to go to a full strip, and we ought to think about cutting a couple, being as this is what we're doing. Gonna make sure nothing shifts on me here. And we're going to take this and it's a video game. But on your phone or on Steam, or I mean, is it a computer one or is it like a PlayStation Game Boy game? There's too much shit. I'm too old. One of my friends and I do a voice chat and therapy one. Nice. Nice. I mean, and if any of y'all are smart enough to figure out how to turn this into actual, everybody can hear everybody's voice. I mean, you guys can hear me, but it'd be great if I could hear you guys, even if, cameras aren't shared. I wonder if there's a way to, I'm sure there's a way to do it. I am not fucking smart enough. Play on your Steam Deck. Okay. Is it just You called it Power Wash Simulator 2. Well, I have Steam, so I'll take a look because that'd be funny. I can almost see how that would be satisfying because I like to power wash. I like there. Okay, yeah, I've actually never used Discord. I'm probably gonna have to do that to see how it works. Problem is, I'm friends with nothing but old people, and none of them actually do it. Okay, I would love if you would show me. That'd be great. Um, Handle. What can I do? This side and here. Yeah, it always pisses me off like when we're doing work around the house and power washing is something that needs to be done because I enjoy doing that. I can't fix a ceiling, but I can power wash. So when I say, hey, leave that job for me because I like it, he still does it. Oh, bullshit. I'm stuck ripping something, aren't I? I ended up using that one that I kind of threw away because I didn't actually fucking throw it away. I gotta contact the hairdresser that you mentioned. I thought I lost her phone number, but found it. And Monday, I gotta go get my eyes checked, so I should have contacts again. I get used to wearing my glasses, and thankfully, I like my glasses. I think they're pretty. I get lots of comments on them, but my whole focal length is different, and I just don't like it. And then you throw rain and darkness in. No, fuck that. I'm gonna be the old bitch that says, "I can't drive in dark." Whatever. I have some benefit for getting old. Oh, you do? Awesome. You didn't have my chart, just the color on the top. Are you recoloring or adding more color to that part? Two people. That means I've got one more person lurking around there, playing with us. All right, let's unpress. You have to go to, if you can't come in tomorrow. Tomorrow's the last day to vote. Did you vote when you were in? No, we didn't have the stuff up. Go to the website. Ow, it's still fucking hot, by the way. Website or snowy winter for oh oh, I can't wait. But you have to go vote. Everybody has to. It's on our Facebook page. It's on the website. You vote for 3. You're so cool this time. Okay, thank you. Because tomorrow's the last day to vote. And then we tally it all up at the end of the day. And Saturday, we do a open sew, but we have our sew week going on right now. That's fine there. And I'll do the live and announce a winner, which means I'm gonna make up the gift cards. some lady in wanting me to. Okay. I'm like, wait, what? I'm overthinking this. Stop overthinking. You know what I'm doing, sort of. So then, you'll find that when I do these lives, I'm elevated. I don't know if you can say hi. There you go. And I lose track of what the hell I'm talking about. But where was I going? See, oh yeah, Discord. If if I set up, how does that work? If I set up Discord and do a YouTube live, would those of you watching that wants their voice heard have to go on Discord as well? Because there are people that 100% will not know how to do that. I mean, they could still do it the way we're doing it now, right? They would just type in. Okay. So is it a whole? I'm gonna Google it. I'll talk to my kids too. But I don't even know where you go to get Discord. How was your power nap, honey? How was your power nap? Yeah. I mean, not badly, but I knew you were asleep. They call that the nap after dinner, but before bedtime is called an appetizer. You can have a voice chat on Discord and connect to YouTube. Wow. Okay. Will, sorry, you have to deal with the dummy here. So, yes, everybody that is connected through Discord will hear me and I'll hear them. But on the channel here, will say, Susie down the street or Janet. Janet's somebody that watches. So, would Janet hear everybody or just me? I know it's stupid. You gotta, the old people gotta figure it out. Okay, these are probably too small to do anything with, and will I really ever do anything with these fabrics? It's just a little wonky. Okay, okay, that just seems wowsy wowzer. Wowsy wowzer McWowzers. Whoops. I'm learning all the time as I'm figuring out light, cameras, OBS, connecting like my tablet or my phone to OBS so that you guys can see it all. That's another thing I had to learn. Found a cool little thing to do that. We are squaring up as we go, ladies. Hopefully we can straighten it too. Yeah, done's better and perfect. So you'll hear me say this 10,000 times. And it's more of a, oh, okay. Well, if I can connect it to OBS, then yeah, everybody should hear it, right? Right. Sometimes I gotta work that all the way through the wee brain. And it's an old brain. It's impaired and it's worked all day. Okay, so that's my bar, my handle. And now we're gonna do this side and go to the next one. I will play with it, talk to the boys and stuff, and then hopefully when you come in, I'll just fine tune some questions I might have. Thank you. I'll take your vote when I get into the shop and write it on a slip and get it in. There's some good shit this time, huh? Everybody did so good. So it's kind of a funny thing, this voting or this challenge. It came from another store, which probably came from another store. Somebody had to come up with it, and I don't know if they were the ones. But I had a customer that said, "Hey, Jamie, you should do this at your shop," and talked about gave me the paperwork she had because she lost it and had to get another set. So when she found the first one, she brought it in and said, "Hey, you should think about doing this. God, this mat is trash now. And I'm gonna need to cut more of this. Maybe I'll do that. Let's see. Let me grab it because of course I moved it. Why keep it close? Um, so what it is, it's a fabric that's unloved. I can't remember what she called it. We changed ours to a star is born because it's going to become a star now, not open, meaning the star of your project. And we changed some rules around to fit our area and my peeps and started doing this fun ass challenge. And she enjoys it so much that she, shit you not, she basically browbeats her whole family into playing along. She has her husband doing it. You know that 420 be done. Okay. We have done that. We've done we've done the weed one, but I still have 300 and some odd yards, and we might have to do it again. I think we need to do a special challenge with the weed fabric and have it be um like I'd say an article of clothing, but I don't know how to fucking make any clothing, so that might be kind of hard. Let's see, what did we get when we did the weed fabric? I don't remember actually. I hope. Hi, Watson. How are you, bug? Hey, do weed shops have gift certificates? They should. That's like awesome, or would be awesome. Like when my husband goes, I don't know what to get for you. Do you know where the weed shop is? Do you watch Stoner Gump and love him? He calls it the Lord's lettuce. or broccoli. Um, you call it going to outer space. And what are some of the other things? Um, elevated. He's he is elevated, but he makes it seem by the way he uses his terms that maybe there's some YouTube rules or actually I don't know if he's on YouTube. I think I see him on Instagram. But it makes me think through a couple people that you can't refer to actually doing it. You can't be seen doing it on camera. You can't, or you gotta dance around some shit. And I don't want to be canceled before I start, so I've been dancing, but I haven't researched. I'm okay saying elevated. Figured being as we're gonna do one more round on the other ones. Like I should make a dress. Weave fabric. Okay, here's the funny, like. So when we had first started getting weed and stuff, we had this old lady come in and she was waiting to be checked out. I don't know if we had a sale or what, but she was waiting in line to get checked out. And she had like 4 or 5 bolts of green fabric stacked up on, I don't know, table, chair, or something. And where's my partial one? What did I do with it? Um, I walked by her and I went, you do know that one there's weed, right? And she's like, excuse me? I go, Marijuana." Oh, she, she was all shocked. She's like, oh my God, I was getting these to do backs of quilts. And I laughed and, kept moving. And she changed it out to be a different fabric. And I was talking about it at home, and my oldest was like, you gotta stop doing that, Mom. I'm like, thought I was doing a service for this woman. And she's like, you, that right there ruined the stories that house, that family would have had. You remember when Grandma put marijuana fabric on the back of the pastor's quilt? And I'm like, okay, I do see that. So I have taken that to heart. I don't know if that's good or bad, but stuff. There's this woman that bought marijuana fabric last year. She was making, was she making aprons? And she had bought the fabric for her kids' quilt, or sorry, her kids' apron. And I want to say even had it cut out. And then the kid was like, I really like teal. So she's like, well, I'll go get more fabric and that original one. What the hell? I'm not sure how I bumped that. Totally must have bumped it with my arm. Sorry. Um, so I didn't say a damn word when she bought that marijuana fabric. And then it was months before I saw her. So I saw her in the summer and I'm like, so did you ever get those aprons done? 'Cause I really want to know. And she's like, no, something happened, but they're on the docket to do this year. I'm like, okay. I'm still waiting to see it elevated high when you get um when you partake in the 420. I'm just not sure how much can and cannot be said or shown. So, so that's That's the word I've been using until I know whether I can just come out and say, yeah, get high and here, watch me smoke. Because I'm not asking anybody to do it, but I do. Oh, oh. See, I'm very quick on the uptake. Yep, maybe. I don't recall even reaching for it, but I had looked up and it was on this view, and then I looked up and it was on the end credit screen, and that is not what we're doing. So if you're playing your game and talking to me and not your friend, or are you talking to your friend too? Like, is your friend not available for what do we call that? Armchair therapy? Because sometimes your best friend is really all you need. Because I'll fill that bill. Sure. No friend tonight. I'm glad because I was hanging out by myself. Someone else is lurking, but they're not talking. Okay. This still gets peeled back. Really would love to know what the game plan actually was on this. Um, again. Oh crap! I'm larger than life then, unless it's a little TV. Then I'm okay. For as uncomfortable as it makes me to be on camera, I do it a lot. I'm not as squidgy about this, probably because most of it is unseen, I guess. Uh, how do I want to do that? I fuck with this every time I get to this point. And chatting to itself. Well, okay. That sounds like fun. Overlapping at its best. Damn it. Scissors. So it looks like your cassette turned out good. It's funny, I just watched somebody do some. Well, she did a project she created, made like a big wood cassette tape, and then she had a big machine she was able to put her like I'm gonna say 2x4, but it might not have been a full 2 inches. And she was able to put the board through this and it would like laser a pattern into the wood. Yeah, you're past my fucking knowledge. But I'm not quite sure what that part was, whether that went around the outside of this three-dimensional gigantic cassette tape. And it was kind of cool. She was experimenting with stuff, and that's what she chose to start with. And I'm like, wow, cassettes are all the rage now. Wow, you did great. It looks great. It's cute. Oops, not that way, this way. Okay, okay. Where does that bring us? That brings us current-ish. Now I do 2 rows of the berries. I really don't like getting these 2 in. Not really a fan. So what's your project this Saturday then? Let's straighten that edge up just in case. Where can I set this mouse that I don't have to worry about accidentally bumping it? Let's put crossbars on the stitch line. It does. It looks like the pit. That's it. You know it's the avocado quilt now, right? Oh, crap. Yep, it is now an avocado quilt. 'Cause- all right, I gotta grab a block now. That's the inside of the avocado, the outside of the avocado, and the pit. Totally. Okay, that's freaking great. I hope that didn't slide too far. It slid, but I don't know that it's too far. Okay, well, we're gonna leave it anyway. How about that? It's not my favorite shade of green. I'm okay with this one. This one, not so much, but it's totally my son. Okay, we're gonna just trim this extra. Hey, being as I'm using my headset, could you hear that? It's the skin pit. Yep. Great. Now we've named it my guacamole quilt. I have to tell him when he comes down. I should put the paint chip that the green that I want to paint in here. I'm just not sure whether it's the upstairs hall or whether it's the accent wall that runs from the living room to the kitchen. Hey, old dog. Want to be a movie star? Hi. Oh, you okay? Oh, that can't stay there. No, it can't. Hi. Want to say hi? Want to say hi, my friends? Where's my... Now I need the mouse. There's my old dog. Are you on TV? What you doing? You, do you smell my dinner that's hiding over there? Hmm? That's my girl. You're my old. All right, I'm gonna go put you down. Okay. It's Daisy. Daisy Duke. There you go, love. You missed her being stuck earlier. She tipped over and couldn't get back up on her feet, and she's all. I'm like, what the hell is that? And looked, and that's That's what I got to see. I had to go tip her back up on her feet. Yes. This is the original one that used to come to the shop, yeah. Until she showed somebody where the door was, and we decided that that probably was not the best job for her anymore. Yeah, we're see that right, right there, and let it go. When I put the next round on, it will probably have a micro fold, and once it's quilted, nobody's gonna see it, and we're gonna just done. Yep, he's the original. So then after she let that lady know that she didn't like her, um, I stopped letting her come because I was afraid she'd do something or somebody would claim that she did something, and I wasn't gonna, didn't want to worry about that. Then we got the puppies. Hey, Robert, can you take her out? Thank you. Um, then we got the puppies, and the puppies came because we were potty training. Run! Oops. There we go. And then I felt guilty that whole time because Daisy was staying home alone and I was taking the puppies and leaving her, and it just felt like crap. But I couldn't potty train two puppies I wasn't around them and nobody was home, and I needed to know that they were potty trained. I can sneak a couple onto this strap. Now, sir. Okay, am I still on? Can you hear me? Because I just got a thing. Okay, fine. But that's I finally got my Mr. Magic spray. Did I disappear for a second? It did this either last time or the time before. I get a bing and it says OBS disconnected, and then bing, OBS reconnected. What the hell? What would make that happen? Oh, and what is this fresh hell? Tangent. Okay. Hey, honey. And nope, I don't get the Mr. He didn't hear me. Yeah, I don't know why. I'm usually doing absolutely fucking nothing when it happens. I'm not touching anything. There's not, I mean, we got fucking, what is this? Digital shit? Fiber? So we should be fine with that. Does OBS say I have any issues on the screen here? 30 FPS. Dropped frames. 3.4%. It had come into Columbia. I'm in Columbia City. It had come 2 blocks away up the hill towards the highway. I'm on the lower side. And we've had it for, I think, a year. And basically, all of fucking Columbia City could have it but us because of how our house was situated. They basically said they would bring it to the pole, but we would have to pay to cut down a tree, and there was a bunch of issues with it coming here. And it was going to cost us thousands to get it. And I guess the installers kept pitching a fit to um, with a quantum and said, that's not fair that everybody can have it except this resident. And they came and they buried it. Yeah, it's weird that it's like nowhere in Scappoose, right? Not some places and not others. Like here, they don't have it at the shop because it would save me a shit ton of money. I'm gonna have to go look for that damn game. I'm doing this. Doing a game. Different game. What's the game I'm doing? It's got. It's gonna sound really fucking stupid because I don't know the name of it. But it was one of those damn things advertised in the middle of all the other games that we play. And it was, there's hexagons that you flip over to reveal landscape of the city. And then in that process, you get coal mines, you end up, sometimes there's trains drive me bumfuck, but you end up making sand into raw glass into cups and then you sell the cups. But then every now and then you'll have a thing where there's a bar and you make mixed drinks, so the cups have to go there. And, one of those grinding games, I guess, but it's pretty fun and mindless. You can do it elevated. You don't go. It's not one of those things where you go, shit. I just sold all that shit that I've been saving so I could do this thing, but I forgot what I was doing. This, this one here. Let's square that. There's so much fucking squaring. Just get a little wig out right there. Ooh. Did I cause a problem here? Maybe, maybe not. Fixed. Might need to check on Daisy. Has not made it in. She gets lost. Oh, that sounds nice. Watson, shut your freaking furry mouth. What the hell kind of scene is this? Holy crap. Okay. It's 10 years ago. Let it go. Oh, that's right. You were telling me you were getting that. I'm like, this sounds familiar, but I'm drawing a blank. I'm like, I don't even know how this was a seam. This width. It's hard to force myself to make them big here. We're just gonna sandwich this shit together and hope it works. Okay, now I need two more berries on this. Okay, that's gonna go there because it's ready for the next thing. And we cut this apart. This is from the last strip, not strand. I know what I'm talking about. And then it doesn't bounce because it's so sturdy, right? I ran into issues with not being able to see because my machine is bouncing because I'm sewing too fast. What? Okay, that's supposed to be folded back, and I would like smidge more space for a theme. I'm good. I can't even pinch that, but that's not Daisy. Hey, and Daisy hasn't made it in. Okay, that's done. Who doesn't need extra freaking drawers? It's great that he heard me to take her out, but not bring her back in. That needs to correct this. I need to. So, you better save Daisy. She hasn't made it in. Okay. That part. He's still not getting her. Yep, yeah. Husband. There she is. And it's funny, you know, your kids or your dogs bark There, oh, that's not fucking straight. That's straight, and that is the best I can do. Hey, do you have a 3D printer? I have 3D printer questions. Not, I'm not going to ask you to do something, but just the overall how does on the question. Okay, so like an embroidery machine, I know that there's patterns, programs, the stitch, of what I want this machine to build, to print. How does one create that? I have something that's broken. I have two of them at the shop that are broken. And when I contacted the company about getting another piece, I was told that I had to buy a whole new assembly for $60 instead of just the piece that's broken. And it's all plastic. One of these days I'm gonna get my own. But how does one, because I doubt there's anybody out there already with one unless someone that owns a 3D printer and this rotary cutter happen to have both. In a slicer. Just I'm doing this. What's a slicer? If you look up, this the cutter that I use at the shop, the push down and slide. It's a Havel, Havels fabric cutter if you want to look at it. But that purple head that slides onto the track and holds the blade that you push down, it's got one of these metal V kind of shape. Okay, it's not metal. I've seen metal. They have this plastic spring-like with these little tabs on the edge so that when you press down, it comes back up. Well, the blade isn't coming back up anymore, and we took it apart and went, oh, well, the little tabbies are broke. So there might be a way to get, there might be a way to take it apart, cut off the plastic bit that's broke, and glue weld, I don't know what it's called, but there is one that'll work with the glue, um, the metal piece on. But that's, I don't, I don't know. But I'm not necessarily, I'm not necessarily happy with their answer. So my friend called, and the answer was kind of more of a take it back to where you bought it. But I would be where people bought it when a customer has a problem. And that became a topic of conversation today, going, yeah, it might be able to be 3D printed, but how does one even create? And if you have to, I would love a recommendation of what one to get. Because at this point, my family keeps showing me shit that could be 3D printed. And to be honest, I've seen some quilting stuff too that could be printed. We don't have a printer. I was going to get one for my husband. And then we thought, we were going to remodel our house and that we were going to have to basically move out of it while they did the work. And it didn't make any sense to buy that and then keep it in the box and not be able to use it. So I didn't, and the remodel never happened. And depending on who you talk to in this family, it will never happen. So I guess that the printer can get back on the gift idea list. Redesign my. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. And I've seen some really bitchin' things that go on pegboard. I can share them with you, but at this point, you've probably already seen them. But it's like the peg comes and has a secondary thing, so the spool goes, and then the matching bobbin goes, and it goes into the pegboards. I thought those were cool too. And then there's the bobbin winder card things, and there's all kinds of cool shit. But like my son, whose birthday is tomorrow, like earlier this week, told me he had an idea for birthday, and it was this highly complicated 3D design that I could have printed on a 3D printer for him, and then he would paint it. I'm like, are you wanting a 3D printer? Because I don't know anybody that's going to do this for us. Am I getting you the pattern and you're finding your own fucking person to do it? Oh, that's cool. I know several people that do that. Actually, cool. I tried to sell it at one point, and they were assholes, so that didn't happen. Okay, plastic hit the ground. I'd like to get whatever it is before I step on it or roll on it. Yeah, I guess that's not gonna happen. I'll find it when I break it. Probably a clip. It probably bounced underneath the leg of the table here. I think my whole family would probably like to screw around with a 3D printer. I would just need. Is that it? No. But no, you don't need to be watching me. What the hell's mouth? Wait, what was I doing? This comes up. It's down there. So this can. This. I hate these partial things. It's not as bad as Y seams, but I mean, it's getting there. Wow, I was like not consistent at all when I was making it. Because this is a scant quarter. I mean, so the whole thing might end up working out because some of them are fat quarter and some of them are scant. So maybe there's my handle. I wonder, can I Hi, Scully Wully. Do you want to be a movie star too? I'm sure they wouldn't mind. Well, no, damn. I'm like, wait, can I just go ahead and flip this and sew it right now? But I will do that so I know how far to stagger this. There we go. Let's see how many we can get. I already need more freaking strips. Bar, handle. The new Knives Out movie is out tomorrow, I think. What happened here? Oh, I see. All right. That's okay. Weird. But what am I doing? It might be easier if I do it from here. Yeah, here's a scan order. Oh, it's just difficult to make myself do those. It's just all wrong. Bamboo, PS1, all puppies. Come here. Ah. Oh God, you're wet. Oh, hi, 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 hi. Mm-hmm. How you doing? Hmm. Are you all wet? This is hi. This is Gully. This is the baby. Look at the baby. All right, go, run, be free. You, ugh, God, you wet dog. We're gonna get almost everybody. Hi, hi. Hmm. You do my shadow. This is Watson. Oh God, on camera, your face is so white. Where's your sister Dusty? We've only missed one. Huh? Oh, you smell my dinner too, Miss. I will. I'll stab a bitch for some people food. Yeah, I know. Not for you. Not yours. What I got? Welcome back in, Miss Daisy. Okay. Let's separate these. They are. They're cute. Huh. They're turds. When we get close to being done, I'll turn off this particular camera so I can get into my tablet. Remind me, and I'll tell you what the mindless little game is I've been playing. And I can just look. Okay, and I thought, you said you think it's been out, or you're talking about the Knives Out movie? There's one coming out right now. I could be off on the days that that it came out, but there's a new one in December. If you meant something else, it's long enough ago, I don't know what. Oh, there goes the old dog. Where are you going, Miss Daisy? I think we'll top out at, yeah, getting these blocks the same as the previous set. And that's here. And this is, and then that's be the end of tonight. Hi, Miss Dog. How you doing, old girl? Crap. What am I doing with this? I do this every fucking time I get to this point. It is just awkward. Well, there's a couple different things you could do. We could pin it to the wall, the design wall, and you can stand on the other side of the tables and get it. If you're wanting a little more picturesque, I mean, I'm fine if you do it on the deck, other than it's rainy and yucky, and I don't know that you would really want to do it on the deck. And depending on what you're doing, if you want an artsy shot or something, there's always a chance that we can hang it like we hang some of ours at the shop. Because as soon as the voting is done, I'm changing where all the, I'm taking down those quilts and putting mine back up, which means temporarily hang one of yours for something. We can come up with something. And if putting it on the design wall and being on the other side of it, um, if the tables are still in the way, they're just tables. They'll slide out away first. Is this the back seam again? And we're going to end up with just probably some little microphones in all of this. I'm done fucking figuring it out. I think. I'm going to put that bar on the straight seam. So at least it'll be visually. Okay. Yeah, so whatever you need. We can work something. If it not needs to be artsy and it's just for your stuff, sure thing. We can pin it to the wall. Or there's probably enough open space on the floor that it could lay out on the floor, whatever. Whatever. Oh, I don't need more strips. Yahoo! I might be able to finish this part. That's the bar handle. I don't know why I'm calling it the bar when I usually call it the handle. What time is it, Daisy? Oh, it's getting close to bedtime. That's why she's traipsing around. Her internal clock is telling her it's time for her pills and time for bed. I've got to finish it. I'm going to just do the last little bit, the last two rounds of these and call it for tonight. And then the next time, well, the next time we kind of need to figure out a layout. So maybe what I could do is take these to the shop, use a design wall, get a couple layouts that are okay, and then do a short or do a poll. Can I do a poll with pictures? Hmm. You know, I don't know how to do that. To be real honest with you, I didn't know how to do any of this until July when I just started. And then I picked my kid's brain, but he streams on Twitch, so he knows Twitch better than he knows YouTube. But then he tells me all this stuff and tells me what he's seen other people do, etc. And then I'm like, ooh, I gotta figure that out. So then I pick around with some stuff until I run across something that rings a bell that he's talked about. And then you're like, oh, that's so I got one more to put on here. Probably should have thought about that before I took that off the machine. I could have tucked this on there. This one just needs one more. My Daisy Duke. With a voice channel and create and connect the OBS, but also like, yes. Okay. Yes. And to be real honest with you, there's a lot of times that I go, hey, Chat GPT. I call him Chad now because Chad is really close to chat. And say, how do I? I know, but I'm not using it for art. I'm using it for instructions, which is good. I've actually had it help me optimize my website. It's being seen by Google more now. So, I mean, I'm making it work. I do kind of love chat. I'm to the point where I do pay monthly because I can get it to do the fabric descriptions and listings faster than I can do it. I just upload a picture and say, this is Wilmington Fabrics with this designer and this is the name of the line. And it basically writes it for me. And I can't do it as fast as it can. Hell, I lose the answers quicker than I could have done it. I've like gone in and said, this is the website that I have. This is my theme. This is what I'm trying to do. How do I do it? I haven't had to go on tech support for quite a while. I just remember seeing these stupid little AI generated little blurbs. I don't know. That says, hey, everybody over 40 uses ChatGPT like Google. And I agree. Well, half the times I think I'm Googling something, I think it goes to AI anyway. But it says it could it could create a whole website in the time, in an hour, in a day or something. And we're just using it to figure out how to, you know, say something in a birthday card. And so I'm like, okay, well, I linked my web address and was like, hey, what can I do to get seen better to drive more traffic? And it's like, okay, you need to do this and you need to do that. I'm like, that's terrifying. I don't want to go change code. I'll walk you through it. Now, on the flip side, I've gotten so mad at it before I told him to fuck off. It's just totally right. I get it. We'll bring this up again later. Like, uh, are you ready for me to do this? No, you can fuck off. And, okay. Well, all my little playlist videos are from Dear Chad. Hey, Daisy. I'm almost done here. I know that you're coming up on bedtime. You need your new bed. Does Daisy like her new bed? Hmm? I always like to say she likes her Tempur-Pedic, but I'm not even positive that's what we had. And I didn't think to look. That's cool. I've had it. I had it help me with a customer response because yeah, we've met, and you know that I am the kind of person that will eventually get to the fuck right off point, you know. And I had a customer order two fabrics on Etsy, and 10 hours later, surprisingly, actually, while I was packaging her order to ship it, I got a ding, you have a new message, and it was her saying, I'd like to cancel this order. I ordered by mistake. Thanks for your attention to the details on this matter. No, no, you cannot. I am not canceling it. You are not getting a refund. You are past the point of being able to do that. You ordered it 10 hours ago, and I, my dear, have already cut it. And I'm packaging it up. So, um, it was like, how do I say fuck right off without saying fuck right off? And thankfully, it gave me a couple options, and I picked the one that was closest to fuck right off that didn't end up being really mean or something. I don't know. It worked. She didn't say anything, and I sent her fabric. It was in the envelope. I was like in the process of printing postage and all the crap that I do. All right, we're gonna shift views to here. All right, well, I see Dad's upstairs. You okay, Daisy? We're almost done. I just got. Oh, you bitch. Not you, Daisy. Not the dog. I unthreaded my machine. Right at the end. Right when, I'm ready to. I'm actually ready to put my feet up for the night. I've been working all day. There's the handle. I didn't unthread it again, did I? You wouldn't put it past me. I'm gonna unplug this. Well, not unplug it, but um, the name of the silly game that I do is called States Builder. It is this little icon that you probably can't see unless you can zoom. Well, you're on the TV and you might be able to see it. I'll click it though so you can see what it looks like. Can't get in trouble for that, right? It's just an app though. Let's take that down. And let's see. Click it. So you have, okay. Yes, yes. No, we don't want your shit. But you end up with all these hexes that you have to, I earned coins. So, like, these machines you mine or it refines it, and then there's another one, and then that can go to this to make lead bars. Here's somebody wants a task, they want, it's that sort of thing. I can zoom in. Okay, yeah, I can zoom in a little bit. You can see city. So yeah, it's easy to do when you're not paying a lot of attention. If you know what I mean. All right, that goes away. This is going to come over. There's the big ones. Gonna have to sneak out of here before she decides she's gonna go to the bathroom on my floor. That's when they get old. Okay, my handle is here. This should be the last piece. Then we press and still think I'm gonna look and see if I can have a picture as part of a poll, because evidently I can do that on this YouTube thing. How you doing, Miss Daisy? Doing okay? I mean, you were outside. I would hope you'd be okay, but the hell do I know? You are just fine. You absolutely do not have to go up to bed at 9 o'clock. We can push that. Damn it. it's it's stupid fun. The most challenging part is you'll from time to time you're like, well, how am I going to get that resource to that area? Oh, let's see. I forgot. I need to do this. And so you have your stats. You have to be able to accomplish so much stuff before you can leave to the next level. And there are times you're like, oh, I don't have that connected. How do I not have it connected? And like those coins, fucking A, man, if you have a stylus, that's going to be your best bet. Because you'll try to click the coins and it will click a path and turn the path off. All of a sudden, your path is gone. And paths can go both directions, but you have to draw it both directions. So if you need to take this to here, and then whatever is made here needs to come back to here, then, or back in that direction, you have to then slide your finger the other way too. Stupid. You'll figure it out. And then I do one that's solitaire. It's not a word, solitaire. Solitaire phrases. Solitaire. Those are those two. Is that it? That's it. Okay. The other one I do is yeah, piss off. It's mhm, Solitaire Association's Journey, and you have like where you would think you would put your aces. That's why it's set up that way. Your aces are category cards. So this one's wood, lamps, cycle, cable, spice. Here's another one, genome and olives. But then you have to put, these up onto its pile, and it'll tell you there's 5 things in your stack that result have something to do with lamps or something to do with wood. And then when that goes away, you can, so genome, but if you have them here, you can't stack on top of it. But like this one, I was able to move olives on top of those, but now I can't put anything else there. So you get stuck. Shine, lamps. Oh, you didn't like that. Helix is probably a genome. Flavor, spice. Yep, there you go. That one stayed there. So it's kind of the bad thing about this is it actually fucking takes brain power. So like I'm not paying attention and I'm just dragging and dropping. You also have so many moves for the level, and then it gets mad at you. You're like, oh, okay, shit. Zip cable. Zip is a space. Highway. Yeah, don't know. Oh, keys. Nope, I didn't like that. Anyway, that's the other one that I do. Cable splice. You splice cables. Ah, come on. I know you do that because my dad used to do that. Anyway, that's it. Those are the two that I have been doing more than anything else. Besides, I have a Sudoku one that I like that has like a math total, all these boxes total this, so that beside your, I can only put one in these spots. You can also, these 2 boxes add up to 5, so it's either going to be 2 and 3 or 1 and 4. That's right. So I go through ways of doing that. And then I don't know if I have one merge dragon game. Oops, that's not it. And last time I went to go in it told me I couldn't go in, which kind of pisses me off because I was like this close to being completely done with it. And I haven't played that in a while. So I got to figure that out because it was through Misplay. And then I got points for doing it. I don't even, I'll have to figure out. Yeah, it's not letting me into this either. So I just don't even know. I'll have to figure that out. My mindless game is Sky Cards, where it's like Pokemon. Really? I will look that one up. I've got that here somewhere. And then I'll look at it after I sign it. Maybe. Keyboard. Sky. Call clouds. Sky cards. Sweet. Oh, yes, that's what I meant, I guess. Okay, I found that. I'll install it to play with and see what it's like. Okay. Okay, Daisy, you are completely done. All right. I will see you Monday, and hopefully I'll have some ideas on layout and hopefully a poll before then, but God knows. All right. Night. Thanks for hanging out with me, and good luck. I can't wait to see what you have done here. That'll be cool. All right. Good night.